engine repair. This is test 1 in the engine repair 2. And, you know, like I say, some of this stuff may sound pretty simple, but let's listen to, and anybody that's ever handled any parts knows this. Before removing an electronic part from a package, the technician should ground the package to a known good ground on the car.
False.
Now, what are we trying to do here? Whenever you guys walk around on the carpet on a cold, dry day, and your finger, when you reach out and your finger shocks somebody or it shocks you or whatever, how much voltage is that? 8 to 25,000 volts. Believe it or not. That's what's jumping out of your finger on that static electricity. All right, now if I've got some very delicate electronic circuits and I happen to touch the wrong part of the thing, like some of the pins or something, and there's a static discharge, you've messed it up. And you don't even know that you did it. Matter of fact, there was a technical service bulletin that Ford put out years ago. It was a big, long diatribe on static electricity, how much discharge comes out of your fingers and all that kind of stuff. Now, one day there was this guy that got out of his car out in the ride-up area. And he says, when me or my wife gets out of my Mustang and we touch the door, you know, it shocks us. And he says, and so I said, wow, that's crazy. So I got out of the car and I touched the door and it didn't shock me. And so he got out of the car and he touched the door and he could see it shocked me, and I heard a little pop there. I said, I'll tell you what, you get out of the car and I'll hold on to the door and you touch me. And so I held on to the door, he got out of the car, he touched me, and it felt like somebody had jolted me with a coil wire. Pow! Like to knock me down. So what do you do about that? This was not on a cold, dry day.
I don't know, but I'd like to know, because that happens to me and my best friend all the time.
You like that? Here's how you fix that. Now, if you don't like getting shocked by grabbing the door handle and all, get some of that stuff that you spray, that static cling spray. You know what I'm talking about? Like for laundry stuff. And spray it on the seat. Believe it or not, that takes care of it. Now, I don't know why these people was charged with so much electricity, but it wouldn't shock anybody but them. It was odd that him and his wife both had the same experience, though.
Maybe they both wore like wool.
I don't know. Yeah, you may be right there. I don't know, but anyway, that was funny.
I can't imagine grounding the actual package itself.
Yeah, well, you know them foil packages, you know, them funny looking foily looking packages that hard drives come in and all that.
Yeah.
You know, that's supposed to basically discharge the static electricity by you touching the bag before you ever touch the part.
They're like miniature Faraday cages.
Yeah, but I will tell you this, I don't know of anybody anywhere that I've ever seen work on a car that worries about that. We just pull the part out of the part. Yeah. I mean, you're actually supposed to, but you know, I don't know of anybody that does it. Number 2, to lift heavy objects, technicians should use the strength in their backs rather than their legs. That's totally false. How many times have you ever thrown your back or pulled a muscle? Man, that hurts for a while.
Is 1 true?
1's true, 2's false. Acids can eat away at a machine's surface of the straight edge. The straight edge is the one you put on the cylinder head, put the feeler gauge under it. If it's not stored clean, you can basically have, like if somebody's got battery acid on their hands, that's a machined edge. It's really, you know, acid basically dissolves at a really low rate. That straight edge is really important, though. You keep it clean. You don't ding it on anything. It's got to be covered. You know, we got a little plastic strip that we keep on the short one in there. So yeah, true. And then this one's true too. To prevent damage to pistons from removing rings, the technician should use a ring expander. Now, that is technically true, but most of the people that I know of don't use ring expanders. Most of the people that I know of, when they're working with pistons, if they put rings off and on there, they just roll it off.
That's what we did.
Yeah, that's what you do. I mean, you didn't do anything particularly wrong. Now, if you were in some sort of a competition or something at some auto show or whatever, and you didn't use a ring expander, they might, you know, give you points off or something like that, because, you know, most of the time they're looking for stuff that's just absolutely perfect. Number 5, Class B fires are those involving what?
Electrical wiring.
Actually, flammable liquids, believe it or not. To properly disconnect the battery, what do you disconnect first?
Negative.
Why do you disconnect the negative cable first?
So there's no ground.
Well, it tends to make less of a spark, believe it or not. When you break a circuit with the negative side, you don't get near as much of a spark jump as you do when you do, if there's current flowing. You don't get as much of a spark jump on the negative side as you do on the positive.
On that Reddit I was on, someone taking a picture where someone had brought a car in and they had a pair of vice grips clamped holding the negative terminal or the negative battery cable on, but it was like that far away from the positive.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. By the way, did you get your battery bill handled? Did they ever come to get that?
I didn't see him coming.
Okay. Well, I don't know where they're at, but I guess they'll be here in a little while. I don't think they've come since I called them. Come to think of it, but anyway, they'll be here. Be ready. No more problems with no starts, right? You're doing okay with that? We put him a battery in yesterday afternoon. Okay. When using the hydraulic jack, the technician should do what? Lift at the vehicle lift points. Good answer, Curtis. Technician A says you should know where the MSDS sheets can be found in the shop and how to quickly find the appropriate information on them. The MSDS sheets basically like if somebody, there's a gray box out here that's for that purpose on the wall. That's basically if somebody swallows some kind of a chemical that you're using in the shop. The material data safety sheets are supposed to tell you what kind of medical attention, should he throw up, should he not throw up, should he drink milk, who you should call, how serious it is. That's what the MSDS sheets are about. You know that. So everybody knows that. Everybody understands that. That's part of the safety deal. On the barrel of a standard micrometer, each line represents what unit of measurement?
A was C, right?
Has B, 25 thousandths of an inch.
No, I said 8.
No, actually, excuse me. I'm sorry, 8 is C. I'm sorry. Yeah. Technician B says you should know how to handle and dispose of hazardous waste. Yeah. We don't pour antifreeze on the ground. We don't pour oil on the ground. We got containers we put it in. I don't even pour brake fluid on the ground. You know what I mean? You don't try to keep all the stuff off the ground. And the concern is if enough of the stuff gets on the ground, it gets in the water. And nobody wants to drink brake fluid and antifreeze, So just kind of keep it contained. I have actually, the Safety Clean people, they carry away our drums full of oil filters. They pump out our oil. They get our antifreeze, all of the chemicals we have, they take them away. See, nothing gets poured on the ground. Occasionally you're going to have a spill. There's nothing. Huh?
What do they do with it though?
They actually dispose of it in an incinerator or something. They actually do it they dispose of it in a way that's EPA approved. You know what I mean? There's ways you can dispose of it that's EPA approved. But anyway, each line on the barrel of a standard micrometer represents 25 thousandths of an inch. And when you say that, when you're talking about this right here, is what you got here. You got that, this, that, this, that, and then it starts over like that. And then when you screw this thimble back, which looks like that, let's wipe that out. It's got little lines on it, right? Each one of those lines is 1/1000th of an inch. But as you uncover, as this screws back, and you uncover these lines, each additional line is 25 thousandths of an inch. And that's, starts at 0, 25, 50, 75, and then 1, 20. Can you remember that? If I do a board exam and I have the rest of us sit out here and have you get up here and explain that just like I did, can you do it?
No.
Could you draw that? Would you practice so that you will be able to?
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that, right? You explained it to your dad. Okay? I met his dad yesterday. And I found out him and his dad are a lot alike. They really are. You're a lot alike. You really are. Well, your dad's a really nice guy. Okay, what we got here is to pinpoint the cause of low compression readings, the technician should use what?
Cylinder leakage. No.
Very good, a cylinder leakage tester. Yay. The cause, if you're going to find low compression with a compression tester, you're going to pinpoint the cause with a cylinder leakage tester, which means bring the cylinder top dead center, both valves closed, put air in there, listen to where the air is going, and if the air is going out the exhaust, it's an exhaust valve. If it's coming out the intake, it's an intake valve. If it's going out the crankcase, something wrong with the piston. Got it? It's going into the coolant, head gasket issues. That make sense? All right, not too complicated, is it? Dial indicators are accurate to either 1/1000th or 1/1000th of an inch or what? How would you write? Well, excuse me, that's 1/1000th or 10,000th, depending on basically you're going to be looking at number 11 is going to be B. It's going to be either 1/1000th or 10,000th, depending on. Okay, to determine valve spring tension, the technician is going to compress the spring until the tone sounds. It's on a special tool that we don't have here. And read the torque reading and then multiply the reading by 2. All right. Now then we're going to come down here. Do you guys have was that the last of your questions? You got some more? You go up to 20?
Oh, no, there's, yeah, it goes up to 20.
All right, all right. Material safety data sheets provide extensive information about what kind of materials?
Hazardous.
Hazardous materials, good answer. 2 government departments that have strict rules and regulations to promote safety and environmentally friendly practices in the automotive shop are the
EPA.
and EPA and occupational
Oh, the OSHA.
OSHA. Bingo. There you go. Good answer. Used oil filters should be drained for how long and then crushed and recycled? Supposed to be 24 hours. We put them in a drum, and then whenever we get a drum full, the safety clean guy comes and charges me $100 to haul the drum away. You know, then he puts me another drum there. Okay. Number 16. Electrolyte in a battery acid is basically what? What kind of acid? Good answer, Curtis. Battery acid. Sulfuric acid. Curtis is not afraid to field an answer, is he? Good deal, Curtis. Okay. It's actually sulfuric acid. Have anybody ever get sulfuric acid on your blue jeans? You get battery acid on your blue jeans, there'll be a hole there. You've done that? That's not fun, is it? Were you disgusted after you found out your blue jeans had a hole in them? Oh, you didn't care. You were wearing blue jeans you didn't care about. Okay.
Your pants.
Yeah. Well, battery acid, if I was going to have this really, really powerful battery acid, is really, really strong, and it's so bad to eat through that, what can I keep it in?
Plastic.
Yeah, because the battery's plastic, isn't it? Now, there's some plastic that'll eat, like the little convolute tubing around your wire harness that'll eat that. But I mean, keep it in a plastic bottle or glass, you know. Okay, but keep it off of your clothes, keep it off of your hands if you can. Definitely keep it out of your eyes and out of your mouth and all that sort of thing. What is the, let me ask you this, what is the pH value of battery acid?
20.
No.
It's lower, isn't it? Because it's alkaline.
Yeah, it's 1. You know what the pH of Coca-Cola is? 2. You know, you can put a T-bone steak in a Coca-Cola and it'll be gone in 2 days. Yeah. Yeah. You drink a lot of Cokes? Yeah. All right then. You better not. That's all I got to say. All right. Let me see here. Valve spring tester is used to measure what? The what of the valve spring?
Tension.
Tension's good. A machinist rule is a steel ruler with increments as small as what?
100 thousandths.
128. They're 1 in 128. Yeah, 1/128th of an inch. It's hard to say that. Number 19 is a blank is used to measure rotational variation, movement, or in play of a component.
The dial indicator.
Dial indicator, good answer. The antifreeze protection level of coolant can be measured with a coolant blank. Refractometer. There's that thing you put the little drop of it on there, and then you look out into the light and you can tell. You know what else you can do with that thing? You can measure the specific gravity of your battery water with it. And you just put a drop on there, and then when you got to know what you're measuring to read the right scale in the thing. It's really cool.
What was 18?
Huh?
What was 18?
18 was basically 1/128. 128th.